going to talk about 5 stocks that I think that you should be investing in, especially if you have less than $10,000 to invest. So, first one, of course, is a fan favorite. It's Nordic Tanker stock. The symbol is NAT. Last I checked, the stock was about. Ooh, sorry, I'm driving. Last I checked, that stock was about 497. So you could legit get around about 100 shares for less than 500. It's a total buy. Um, the second stock, well, let me go back to that first stock. So, why I think it's a good stock. So, one, it's a dividend stock. It's a really cheap dividend stock. It's a very conservative company. They haven't had a lot of growth over the last few years, but they're conservative. They have consistently paid out their dividends to their shareholders. In the last, couple of months, oil's tanked, so the revenue is going to be high for at least the next 2 years. So I think those dividend shares that they're going to pay out are going to be really, really good. And they pay out every 3 months. So the more shares you have, the more dividend payments that you can get every 3 months, right? Also, the more, if you have a minimum of 100 shares, you can sell the option. That is like where the money is right now with that stock, in my opinion, because everyone loves that stock. Millennials are loving that stock, but they're not holding that stock. And because they're not holding that stock, that increases the number of options on the board. So you have if you have 100 shares, you have the ability to sell your stock into particular options. And I could do an entire video about that, but this one's not focusing on that. But that is an option that you have if you have 100 shares. And right now, it's easy to get 100 shares. So I definitely recommend you getting a little bit of that, or just buying 50 and just seeing what goes. But I mean, 100 shares is really where the money is, because that's where you can sell the stock. And you can also make money off holding. So that's like 3 ways you can make money: the dividend payouts, selling the stock, and then also just having the share value, right? So go get that stock. I think that's a really good investment, especially for a beginner who doesn't want to spend a lot of money. And most of my investments are going to be like penny stocks that are under $25, because of the amount of money that I'm investing. Once I'm at a point where I can throw like $25,000 into a stock, then maybe I'll start looking at like a bigger plays. But right now, most of my stocks are under $25 because I want to buy bulk shares. And if I want to do that, I gotta look at stocks that are like under $25. Number 2 stock that I would recommend that you buy is American Airlines. I know Warren Buffett just did a complete, really sabotaged the company really with that video. But he had, this meeting where he discussed how he was liquidating all of his airline stocks. So United, Delta, I think American, and what other ones he had. For whatever reason, he doesn't believe in it. But at the end of the day, Warren Buffett is like in his 90s or close to 90s. We're young enough to hold that stock long enough for it to come back. Like in a year or two, probably more so 2 years, people are going to be flying all around, going here, going there. That stock's going to go back up. That's just realistically. Like, there's not going to be a world where we don't have an airline. But I can see how someone in his age group would not want to hold that stock, and because they don't have 20 years to wait. But when you're young like me, I'm only 31, so I have plenty of time to wait it out for that stock to go up. Also, that's a dividend stock. Most of the stocks that I play with are dividends. I don't really like stocks that I can't make money in multiple ways with. So American Airlines, it's a dividend stock. Dividends aren't big, but they are consistently paid out every 3 months. And the revenue is not going to look good for the next 2 years probably. So I don't know how much those dividend payments are realistically going to be, but it's still a good buy. Also, it's another fan favorite, which means there's a lot of potential to sell the options. So if you have 100 shares, you can sell the options. I make like $150 doing nothing a week on every 100 shares of American Airlines that I have. So I definitely think it's a good buy. And that's me playing it safe. I definitely could like make more, but I would be risking my shares more. So I like the low risk, low margins and low risk kind of investments. That's just me. That American Airlines, I want to say last I looked at it was about like 950 stock symbols, like AAL or something like that. But that's pretty good. That's like less than $1,000. You could be owning 100 shares of that. And I always say buy 100 shares. Like, don't look at any stock that you can't buy 100 shares of, because 100 shares gives you the ability to do more more things with that stock. If you have 2 shares of something, what are you doing? Where are you going? What you doing with it? Like, literally, if you have 50 shares of something, what are you doing with it? Like, yes, that's more, but still you have less flexibility than if you have 100 shares, because at 100 shares you can sell your options. Now, not every stock allows you to share options, so you want to be careful of that. But these 2 that I'm talking about, you can do options. Like I said, I like to make my money more than one way. I don't like to just have it all tied up in capital. But selling options it's considered a collateral call, and it's not complicated, but it's a learning curve. Like, you definitely have to teach yourself, how to do it, not to mess up and buy instead of selling it, because I've done that before. Just that's the thing about Robinhood, and when you're just doing things in a panic, because stock market's like very fast paced, panic kind of mode kind of thing. I have made a mistake one time, and I've actually bought the options of selling it, and I couldn't get out of it because I'm not a day trader. So that I kind of lost a little money on that one. But it's cool. I was able to sell the next day, and it was like fine. There's something else I was gonna say. I don't remember what it was. Okay, yeah. So anyways, yeah. So I think American Airlines definitely is a good buy. I would suggest getting that stock. Number 3 is going to be, I think it was Hertz. Hertz is like you're probably gonna have to look that up. Hertz is like RZT or something. I'm not sure if it has a dividend or not. Let me check that actually. Okay, I'm back. So Hertz does not have a dividend, but what I like about Hertz, it's cheap and it has a lot of options. So it's like last I checked, that stock was like 302 or something, and it's been like fluctuating. So I definitely would only buy that stock to do options with. Like, I wouldn't buy it to hold. I think that company has a long way to go. The stock's never been that much, so I definitely would only buy that for options. And if you don't have a lot of money at all, you definitely should look at the Hertz, because it's like I said, it's like $3, and you could probably buy 100 shares for less than $400, maybe like 3 something, and then you can start selling your stock options and kind of learn with like small amounts of money. And I always say that, like, if you're just now kind of getting into the market, you need to be looking at like penny stocks. Like, you definitely need to look at some penny stocks. Don't look at, honestly, I don't know, if I was like a newbie, I don't know that I would recommend you getting anything over $10. Like, and even that's a stretch. Like, you need to probably be looking at things like under like $6. And there's some good companies that are under $6. But Hertz is a good one, like I said, but it's not a dividend one, so it's not one that I would ever hold more than a couple of months. Another one is going to be BBBY, which is Bath and Body. That one has really good options. I made a lot of money on options for that one. Not sure if it's a dividend because it's not part of my portfolio. It might be. So BBBY, Bath and Body Works. Bath and Body Works. Bed Bath & Beyond. They do have a dividend. So I had that stock for a while, and I sold all the shares. I don't remember why exactly I sold, but you know what? Because at the time the stock was so high, I couldn't really get 100 shares, and I didn't want to have like under 100 shares of stock, because I wanted to do the collateral calls. So I sold it, but it is still a good stock. It's still in my top 10, and it's under $6. So I definitely would look at that one. Their revenue is pretty good. They pay a consistent dividend every 3 months. So, like I said, there's different ways you can make money with that stock. Number 4 is going to be Ford. Ford has had a slow comeback. That stock, I think, even at its highs, was still under like $25 in the 52-week high. Don't take my word for that, but I know that stock never got to the potential that it was before they had that big like market crash like years ago. But still a good stock. There's a lot of room for growth with that stock. It's still pretty low. I believe it's like under $5. And I've seen it like since this whole like stock market crash. I believe I've seen it at like $7 at one point. But it's still a good buy. You could do stock options with that. They have a dividend. So it's always going to be definitely in the ones that I recommend. My 5th one would be, let's see. 5th one. I actually like Hal. It's HAL, Halliburton. It's a construction energy kind of firm. They make really good money, good dividends, consistent. They're just consistent like business model. Their competitor is Schlumberger. He's doing very, very well. I made a lot of money on the Schlumberger stock. I definitely would check that one out. The only reason I'm not even mentioning it is because that stock's over $16 right now. And I don't hold any shares in it. I just do options on that one. But that one I've made a lot of money in. But definitely how, like, if you can get about 100 shares of that, I think it'll be like around $1,000, because last I checked, that stock was like $10. But those are my top 5. Like I said, I like stocks that have dividends, that have the option to sell your stocks, and then also have a good business model and have had growth in their revenue, but not so much growth where the company has nowhere to go, right? So like a company, hold on a second. Give me a second. I'm ordering Starbucks. Hold on a second. Oops. So those are my 5 picks. I hope you like them. Let me know which ones you get in the comment section below, and be sure to subscribe and just like continue to come with me on this journey of day trading stocks. And I will have more picks for you this weekend, because I am going to be doing a lot of research, reading a lot of annual reports, reading a lot of balance sheets, and seeing which ones I want to put in for Monday. Because I'm selling a lot of options right now, so I have to wait for them all to expire on Friday, and I'm gonna put more in on Monday. So this weekend is really kind of like a research time. I haven't really made any. I don't make a deal every day, so usually I'll make a deal. I'll exercise different like options like once or twice a week, and then the rest of the week I'm just researching companies, looking at balance sheets, looking at the market, looking at trends. And then like I have like one day where I'm actually like buying stuff. So Monday's like my buy day. So this weekend I'm just like researching. So I'm gonna try to put, after I do all that research, I'm gonna actually try to put out some analysis videos. So if you're interested in that, definitely come back and look and see if you are interested in purchasing anything. And if you have any questions or want me to make a video specifically about anything particular that I'm doing, definitely let me know, comment below. And thank you so much for watching and supporting my journey. Thank you.